Oh, okay, well, we're back. So last time I've done a little bit of homework. Last time when we were here, I needed to study up on Vue documentation so I could start building out the app. So I have done that. I've done a lot of reading for Vue. I've done a couple of tutorials, and as you can see, last time this was very different. Now I have everything is cleared out. My app.vue file is completely cleared out. All it has are my components. I think I did I watched a very long tailwind.css and it started to make sense to me, but it's still like the sort of thing where it's like, oh, as I'm watching, this makes sense, and then you actually have to do. But as you can see, I have 3 main sections here, and then for my main view, my main one, I'm gonna have my 3 sections, which are my hero section, my contact section, and my project section, which are the things I had discussed the last time. So we no longer have an issue with this rendering. That's been fixed. Now it's a matter of actually coding out stuff. So as I understand with Vue, the concept of Vue was compartmentalizing, what is the word? You know how we generally try to like modularize our code by like having a separation of concern. Well, instead of the separation of concern being just our components and then having like style and its own thing and then having to go back and remember every single thing and every single component, what we can do is do the separation of the concern for each component. So this component is concerned only with what's happening in the main section. So in this main section, I can kind of like, I think like the style CSS here is going to be where like the majority of my styling is going to be like my very base styling. And I think I'm just going to focus on like just what is the root styling here. But for my main, I could do styling here that I expect to only apply to like that main section. And then within that, with my contacts, I could have styling that just applies to my contact stuff. Which I thought, now that I've gone and done this and gone through it and looked at it all, I thought that made a lot more sense. And it's kind of exactly why I picked Vue as opposed to React. Because I think Tailwind CSS does a great job of trying to do something similar to Vue in that because you can use classes for your styling, you can do it inline in JavaScript for your React components, and you can even do things where like you set up your own styling and give them names. And I think that's always been a huge problem with me in CSS, is that I can't remember everything I'm trying to style, and so being able to have it separated like this is really handy. This is basically like HTML, right? So like the script is our JavaScript, the template is our HTML, the style is our CSS. So if this is HTML, I could just put something like, what is the copy thing? I think it's ampersand copy that 2025 Elizabeth Zora Vidal, all rights reserved. We will figure this out as we go. So we're gonna style the span, and all I want to do is I want to make it color like light gray. Oh, okay, here's the thing. This is literally nothing. This is literally absolutely nothing. Nothing amazing is happening here. Failed to run a dependency scan. The following dependencies are imported but cannot be resolved. Hold on. Let's go app.vue. I also kind of forgot to even just like put it there. So let's put our footer in. So it's in there. They should be installed. Alright, let's stop that, clear, npm run dev, see what happens. Okay, yeah, that was part of it. I just declared them, but nothing was actually rendering because I didn't put anything. I don't know what it's gonna look like. Okay. This is fun. So let me show you what I'm seeing, which is this, which is great. Yeah, okay. I don't think my aliases are set up on my Vue.config. Yeah, I don't have. Okay, so that makes sense. So I was watching a thingy where it's like aliases are set up for you, and I guess that's only if you do Vue.config, or when you start a Vue file yourself. So we're gonna go here, and instead of that, we're gonna do header. Instead of that, we're gonna do main. Instead of that, we're gonna do footer. And then we're gonna hit save. And I don't know if that fixes it. It might not, because it's very, okay, so it's header, there we go, components, and then header. Okay, you lied to me, you made me think. So we're in components, and then we're looking at main. So we're in components, and then we're looking at footer. Okay, little things like that. Okay, all of our error messages have gone away. And if we look at my window, all rights reserved. Nice. Okay. I am moving this to the side. Brief. Okay. I'm moving this to the side because one thing I want to do is just kind of see if in the styling, what happens if I change this to like blue and save that. Okay. This is literally nothing. In the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of coding, this is probably like negative kindergartner. But for somebody who hasn't coded for a while, for somebody who went through a boot camp, felt really accomplished, and then those skills just slowly atrophied because I just haven't been able to find the time to do this. Even this working, it feels like a sports thing where something went right. Like, did the Chiefs win the other day? No! Okay. Let's figure that out. But for now, let's put in a nav bar. And then within that nav bar, I guess we have to put like an untitled list, right? So to route links to do different pages in Vue. I don't want to communicate between. Okay, so let's look into Vue router. Okay, so this was maybe a little bit ambitious of me to do immediately, but nope, this is actually good. This is what we're here for. So I'm seeing that in the source folder, there's another folder called router. So let's do that. So in our source folder, we're going to create a new folder called router. I am Englishing very well today, and we're going to go ahead and do a new file in there called index.js. Funny how this was supposed to be so uncomplicated, and then immediately the first thing I do is jump into this crap. So let's do import, what was that, create memory history. Nice, from Vue router and create router. Create router. Perfect. So we're importing those. We're gonna. The only things I need to be able to go through are those things. So we're gonna import hero from Come on, wake up. there we go. Import hero from components, and then we're gonna create a routes array, which is an array of objects that dictates the path that I want it to go to, and then the component I want it to be. So it's gonna be, whoops, a path, and then a component, and we're gonna have 3 of these. Okay, to export our const router, which is going to be the evaluated results of create router. I'm being so lame, I'm sorry. Create router, and our 2 inputs are going to be our history, which is going to be, I guess, create memory history. Yeah, an instance of create memory history. And then the next thing that we're exporting is our routes array. And that should do it. So the money we gave you.
No, it's not.
Isn't it? You just suddenly have cash.
Yes. Technically, this isn't the... Are you in a meeting? I'm so sorry.
No, I'm streaming.
Oh, fuck.
On what?
That's how you blow up. That's the one way you blow up. You arguing with my niece about where the money came from.
Maybe, oh, you know what? Maybe that is. I just put that one little clip on Reddit and be like, guys, tell me who's right here. Am I the asshole? Don't say Twitch weird. So this is going to be able to create our routes for us. Now what do I do? Okay, so router view needs to be somewhere. So the router view component tells view router where to render the current root component. Oh, where to render. Okay. So that makes sense. So we have our nav and everything. Okay, so we have our nav. So then probably what needs to happen is in our main, let's set up a main tag, right? Another flower. Let's set up a main tag, and let's set our router view here. Because that's ideally where we want it to happen. Okay, and then this is so confusing, I'm so sorry. Let's go back to our header, which is going to be our our thingy. Okay, so now that we have that done, now instead of these, what we can do is a router link. Sorry, I'm having a little fun here. And I don't know if you can see, but Billy's here in the background. Thank you for joining me, Billy. In my moment of triumph. Okay. Let's worry about styling once everything looks correct. So then above the footer, we're gonna put the header. She's ready to render. We're gonna save. And I think I see, like, oh, I don't see anything because we're on the wrong page. Okay, we don't see anything. Injection symbol route location not found, which is to about header. Okay, so these are all things happening with router. It kind of feels like I probably should have imported some stuff. Okay, so I got like I said, overly excited. Go to main, not main. If we go to app, and we just hide our header again. Yeah, so those messages goes away. We have this again. That's where we are. All right, yeah, so I think this is a good place to kind of call it, to just kind of I think I'm on the right track, that because there are no components to even go to, it's kind of being like, what are you even trying to get me to route to? Is there something there? So I might actually end up working on this a little bit on my own, but I am really excited. I know this is so silly, it's such a simple project, but it's that really nice rush when you understand things again and you complete things again. So that's pretty exciting for me. So thank you again for joining me today. I don't know, the one person who showed up. I had a great time again, and I'm very excited. All right, good night.